I think it's been a very cooperative relationship between the district attorney's office and his team and our team here at the Bureau of Justice Assistance. We've been able to reach out to more partners and more organizations, to the survivor community, and really to be able to shed light on this issue. When we first announced it, Vice President Biden, who's been a leader on this issue for a long time, along with the Attorney General for our country, Loretta Lynch, and District Attorney Vance, to be able to really shed light on this problem. So at this point now, 9 months later, we're having our first SAKI DANY conference with all of our grantees. We have a great group of subject matter experts through RTI that are providing training and technical assistance to each of these locations, and some of them are states working on a statewide approach. Most of them are cities and counties working on a local approach to be able to really move this initiative forward.
We were committed to helping solve the national rape kit backlog, and we all believe, as I think many do around the country, that this is really a human rights and gender rights tragedy that has gone unsolved as a country for decades. And we had an opportunity to have a big impact and play a big role in helping resolve this at a national level.
And justice is not always ends in a prosecution, but it's justice for the victims in that what they went through was taken seriously, and that we reviewed those cases and looked through those kits and made a final conclusion for that case. But it's important not just for the victim, but for these agencies to recognize that this is a very critical issue in terms of our sexual assault investigations and how we handle those cases and how we handle that justice for victims.
It's important. This is an important subject to talk about. There's no taboo in terms of sexual assault. There's nothing wrong with having this conversation. This is important if you have children, if you have a sister, a wife, a loved one. I mean, this is something we should all be talking about. It affects 1 in 5 women. That's 20% of the population.
So most of the sites have already conducted their inventory of sexual assault kits. They're moving on to the analysis stage. We're seeing already a number of hits and profiles of serial sexual offenders identified through this initiative. And we are engaged in training law enforcement officers on cold case investigations, working with prosecution teams on how you can prosecute these cases, many of which are very old.
We decided that we were going to commit $38 million of our forfeiture funds. Ultimately, the federal government also came in and committed $41 million. So altogether, it was a powerful first step to address this rape kit backlog challenge. And we believe that of the money that we contribute, probably 56,000 plus rape kits are going to be tested. And we already know from some of the early reports coming in from the first several hundred kits that have been uploaded to CODIS that there's about a 70% hit rate for coming from the untested kits, now coming back to match up with profiles already in the DNA databank.
So you can just see that sexual assault, it victimizes a lot of people. I consider, like I said, my mother, my friends, all survivors of sexual assault. They went through it with me. They went through their pain with me, and at least I was allowed to go hide and cry in the closet. And my mother and my friends and family, they had to, stay strong. That must have been very difficult for them.
And throughout it all, we have a very victim-focused, survivor-focused, trauma-informed approach for dealing with the survivors during this very difficult process. So I think this collaboration is historic. It's enabled us to do much more than we could have done on our own. And I think we're going to see the fruits of it throughout our country.